Welcome back to In Ohio Country today. Big Dan Wilson alongside of Barry McGraw from the Ohio Soybean Council. And Barry, of course, we want to thank you for our sponsorship to our television show In Ohio Country today. But it always seems when we interview you guys and get together every year about this time, there's always something new and exciting. And one of the things we're going to talk about today are some of the products that are made with the soybean oil. So it's pretty exciting. Why don't we discuss a little bit about what's happening?
Yeah, I'd love to. The Ohio Soybean Council and the soybean farmers in Ohio have invested in new uses or soy bio-based products over the years, probably going on 20 years at least. And the areas they invest in, they look for new uses for the oil, the mill, and also co-products from maybe biodiesel or from refineries or whatever that may be. And then three areas they invest. One, they invest in hardcore research with respect to proof of principle. Can they develop a lubricant? Can they develop a paint out of soybean oil or a plastic out of the mill portion? And then moving into that next area is how can we help companies that already have a soy-based product? And maybe they just need help with marketing to grow the demand for their product, thus growing a demand for soybeans. And then the third area we spend some time in is actually patenting technologies. For example, we recently patented a soybean mill, advanced soybean mill for fish feed to remove the bad carbs from soybean meal so fish can eat it more regularly or eat more of it, and helping the aquaculture industry. And that was licensed to a company out of India, and we're looking to manufacture that maybe in the U.S. and then shipping it around the world. So those are the areas that the farmers have kind of been entrepreneur, kind of looking ahead of how to create demand for soybeans outside of animal feed and the typical human consumption.
One of the things, Barry, that I think is key is the fact that as an alternative, this is something that's environmentally safe. We've been talking about it for years, and that's one of the things that the Ohio Soybean Council and their associated businesses that help develop these products are really cognizant of. So let's talk about how important it is from an environmental standard to have this as an alternative.
Yeah, it's very important. It creates sustainability. A lot of the products that we look to develop replace petroleum oil, or crude oil. One example of that, sustainability, we're working in a company in Columbus that has produced a product called Roof Max. It's a soy-based water emulsion for your asphalt shingle roofing. So now, maybe after 15 years of life, your roof may look like it needs replaced, but maybe it doesn't. Maybe you need to just refurbish or to enhance or add oils back into the asphalt. So you would use this Roof Max soy methyl ester emulsion to put back in the shingle, and adds flexibility to the shingle and kind of rejuvenates the life of that shingle, and that makes it last longer, keeping asphalt out of the landfills and basically saving the homeowner money.
Barry, the other part of that, of course, is the science behind this technology. It's absolutely amazing. Let's talk about some of the partners that you work with to help develop this kind of technology as well.
Sure, yeah. So the company behind the product is Roof Revivers. They're producing Roof Max and selling it. Companies we've worked with and partners we worked with over the years, Battelle in Columbus, Ohio, off of King Avenue. They've developed the science behind it. They're currently not only rejuvenating the asphalt roof, but we're also working on the science behind how to clean the roof. So you get the algae, the mold on your roof. Some people look at it and say, hey, it needs replaced. No, it's just dirty, just like your deck. And so we're developing technology to clean roofs, not only rejuvenate and adding oil, flexibility back to the roof and things. So I think those kind of university, we're also working with Ohio State in Worcester, and they're doing all the testing. How does this compare to standard roofing materials and hail impact and wind and other things. And so the science on the testing part is being done by Ohio State, which is a great partner.
What's pretty cool is that when we first started talking about uses for soybeans, we were always talking about food, but it's amazing how this has been able to replace petroleum-based products. Of course, soy biodiesel is one of the more uses, if you will, from that product. But, getting into household items and stuff like that, that's pretty exciting because that's when you touch the consumer and can really make a dent when it comes to the environment and when it comes to replacing those petroleum-based products.
Yeah, I mean, if you can imagine, there are petroleum products like roof mats that could be used, but then you have to worry about your pets, you have to worry about the plants around your house, as an example. So, the soy allows products to be safe for these type of applications.
Well, one of the things, too, that I think is very cool about the Ohio Soybean Council is their constant communication with the general public and, more importantly, our soybean farmers to let them know where their checkoff dollars are going and the fact that you guys are being innovative and changing with the times. It's not just what's happening now, but you're looking into the future, not 10, 20, maybe 30, 40, 50 years from now.
Yeah, I think every new use or every new application is kind of one more drop in the bucket of adding demand for soybeans that kind of diversifies the market. And in this day and time, it's very important to have those new uses.
Definitely one of the greatest sources our farmers have are people like the Ohio Soybean Council to use those checkoff dollars in a way that's going to make their value for their product more as the years go by, plus helping the environment and helping Ohioans in the same process. Barry, thanks for joining us.
Yep. Yeah, thank you.
Hey, if you want more information, always check us out on the web at inohiocountry.com, or you can always go to their site at soyohio.org.
Closed captioning paid for in part by the following. Are you looking to buy or sell farmland? Then work with a company that works for you. Ron Spencer Real Estate. Founded in 1975, Ron Spencer specializes in farmland, agricultural, and commercial real estate. Check them out on the web with 3 locations to serve you. Ron Spencer Real Estate at rsre.com. That's rsre.com.
Hello once again, everyone. We're visiting with Tom Fontana with the Ohio Soybean Association. And Tom, you are Director of Research and Education with the association. That's saying quite a bit because over the years, I can think of really no other organization that has done as much with research and getting that finished product out for farmers to sort of advance that bottom line.
Yes, that's true, Gary. Our farmers have invested a lot of money, their soybean checkoff money, in plant research related activities over the years, the last 25 plus years. And a lot of that research has paid off. That research includes looking at soybean diseases, how to manage those, soybean insects, and other pathogens like soybean cyst nematode, and various diseases and so forth. And so we've done a lot of work primarily with the Ohio State University, and they do research on best management practices for soybean farmers. And then the goal is to have extension and other folks get that word out to the farmers in Ohio so that they can grow better soybeans.
Well, I know there are some things that, as we look back in the past, say 15, 20 years ago, that were major problems that they may exist every little bit, but for the most part, they're done away with, and farmers don't have to worry about that anymore.
Well, that's true. They've either been able to develop new varieties of soybeans to handle some of those issues, or that they've found ways to manage it through treatments to the soybeans and so forth. So many things aren't as big an issue. Unfortunately, Mother Nature is cruel sometimes, and these pests and diseases find ways to overcome ways to manage them. So periodically we have to go back and visit some of those things. For example, a number of years ago, the soybean cyst nematode, there was a lot of work done on that, and for the most part in Ohio it was fine. We've discovered lately in the last 4 or 5 years that a lot of people have soybean cyst nematode problems in Ohio. They just don't know it. So we have a program now where farmers can have Ohio State test their soil free to determine how bad that problem might be.
Well, we know that the checkoff program is a national program, so Ohio farmers, through the association, are working with other states in a cooperative manner. And by doing that, you're able to sort of synergize your research and get a little bit more bang for the buck, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Gary, because that's really true. The 12 north central soybean growing states, from Ohio to Nebraska up to the Dakotas and so forth, have a group called the North Central Soybean Research Program. And what's great about that is what you mentioned. All those 12 states, the researchers in those states work together on an issue so that the individual states don't have to, and that way soybean checkoff dollars are used in the most efficient way, and we get the expertise of 6, 8, 10 researchers from different parts of the North Central region, and it's really a good program and has worked extremely well on important soybean issues.
Well, for some of our viewers that might not be that entrenched with agriculture, so to speak, when we talk about checkoff, that's a voluntary program based on various commodities, and it's a voluntary program that farmers are using some of their own money to allow the association to do a lot of this research, and that is has a great impact on what you're able to do.
Yes, it sure does. Back in the early 90s, farmers voted on themselves this method of collecting funds from the soybeans they sell and then using those funds both at the state, regional, and national level for research, promotion, marketing, things that help soybean farmers become more profitable and more sustainable in their agricultural operations. It's worked extremely well. Our surveys show that a high percentage of farmers think it's a good program. And our farmer board, our board who makes all the funding decisions, are farmers from the state of Ohio. So they decide what's best for their fellow farmers in the state.
Well, Tom, if someone is watching right now that might not, I can't imagine any farmer that doesn't know about this, but someone that just likes to get a little bit more information, maybe a non-ag person, how do they go about doing that?
Well, probably the easiest way is to go to our website. That's soyohio.org, soyohio.org. There's lots of information about what's done in Ohio, and there are links to the regional and national organizations, and you can find out about all the programs we have that soybean farmers use to improve their operations.
Okay, great. Thanks for being with us. It's always a pleasure talking with you.
I enjoy it. Thanks, Gary.
And stay with us, back with more right after this.
United Equity Inc. is your locally owned farm-based cooperative. For agronomic services, we offer seed and a full line of dry and liquid fertilizer, as well as soil sampling by soil type, grid, or management zone to best utilize your fertilizer application. Call us to discuss agronomic services customized for you. Reach your best yields with United Equity, serving Allen, Auglaize, Mercer, Putnam, and Van Wert counties. Visit us on the web at unitedequityinc.com. S&S Volvo is your locally owned heavy-duty truck dealership in the area with a full line of Volvo and Isuzu trucks. We offer Volvo, Isuzu, Cummins, and GM parts and service weekdays until midnight until 4:30 p.m. on Saturdays. We also have leasing and rental options to meet your needs. We have the expertise to get and keep you on the road. Stop by at 2600 St. John's Road or visit us at ssvolvo.com to see our wide selection of new and used truck inventory. Allen Davis Insurance Agency in Wapakoneta and Minster is your solutions provider. You can trust the experienced professionals at Allen Davis Insurance to protect your assets. Call today and start saving money with multi-policy discounts and more for auto, home, life, business, recreational, total farm protection, and more. Call Allen Davis Insurance Agency in Wapakoneta and Minster. We are your solutions provider. Call 1-800-686-2148.
Welcome back to In Ohio Country today, and we're out here in rural Spencerville, Ohio, at the Northwest Ohio Field and Stream. Beautiful facility out here, and United Equity is having one of their farmer meetings tonight. And with me is one of their producers, Greg Burke. Thanks for being with us, Greg.
No problem.
Greg, you want to tell us a little bit about your operation to give the folks a little bit of background about yourself?
Well, I'm 33 years old, been farming all my life. Grew up on a family farm. My dad and my uncle, we all farm together, and primarily grain farm. We do raise a little bit of alfalfa. We did have hogs at one time. We're completely out of livestock now. Went strictly to grain.
So you're basically a grain operation, and tonight they're going to talk about weed management. So there's a couple of things for a grain farmer. We'll talk about that and things with you, and also precision. We also want to talk a little bit about how you're making precision work in your operation. Let's talk about weed management and what you're doing to help address the water hemp and the mare's tail and those kind of things.
I think one of our biggest tools in the toolbox is fall spraying, spraying dicamba 2,4-D and getting some of those winter annuals killed. Really helps out in the spring, get a clean seed bed started, and then we can come through with a pre. And you start with a clean seed bed, and that really helps for all year control, keeping it clean. And like I said, come back with a pre, and hopefully don't have to do a whole lot there in post. A lot of new chemicals on the market. We've planted some dicamba beans, but haven't really used that product thus far, but in the future I see we may have to with some different weeds having problems with them.
Well, talking about precision, and that is one of the other hot topics that we have, and what how are you making precision work on the farm besides steering the planter so you can play on your phone?
Well, we do use quite a bit on the Trimble side, and with steering the tractor, and that is definitely a big help, no doubt about that. But precision, as far as on the corn planter, we do have precision meters, and I think it's really helped out quality corn stands, and I think it's a major thing today with the price of seed and everything else. We need to make every kernel count, and I think that's been tremendous for us. I look in the future to do a little bit more precision as far as with the fertilizer placement. Like to get into that, and that's about where we're at with the precision.
Well, variable rate fertilizer has really become with water quality. That's a huge issue, and so a lot of producers are doing that. And I know the folks at United Equity, that's one of their specialties. They're all about placing the fertilizer at the right time, at the right place, at the right amount.
Yeah, I agree. And with that, we have starting into some cover crops this fall, and I think that's another big thing for fertility. Get it on and have that cover crop growing through the winter for water issues and to hold that fertility there, so we're not washing away and trying to be economical that way.
We've been using cover crops on our operation for probably at least 4 or 5 years, and we've seen some really good results. So I think that you'll be kind of pleased with those results on that as well.
Well, I do hope so. We'd like to move forward with more of that in our operation in the future, with different regulations and stuff coming out, and I think it's a good place to start this year, and hopefully more in the future.
Greg, we talked about a lot of stuff here, and there's one organization I think that's helped make that possible for you.
Absolutely. United Equity down at Kossuth, very good team there. Worked with Danielle Matthews quite a little bit. Getting things set up. We go through in the fall, kind of get a plan of what we want to do, and Ben Remfer too. He's very good. We can sit down during the winter and kind of get a plan for the spring and see where we want to go and see what chemicals are out there and get some pricing, and just a very good team to work with down there.
One thing that really does stand out for here at United Equity, one of the things they're doing, just like tonight's event, educating producers, being able to have Jeff Stockler come in and talk about things and give an unbiased third-party answers to their questions.
I agree. They're going to put on a very good event tonight, and I hope everybody learns a little something. I think as a producer, we do need to be informed of maybe what new chemicals are out there, what new strategies can be out there to only help in our farming operations.
If you want more information about United Equity, you can always go to their website at unitedequityinc.com. We'll be back with more in Ohio Country Today right after this.
United Equity Inc. is your locally owned farm-based cooperative. For agronomic services, we offer seed and a full line of dry and liquid fertilizer, as well as soil sampling by soil type, grid, or management zone to best utilize your fertilizer application. Call us to discuss agronomic services customized for you. Reach your best yields with United Equity, serving Allen, Auglaize, Mercer, Putnam, and Van Wert counties. Visit us on the web at unitedequityinc.com.
Welcome to the 30-second tour of your local Poet plant. Local producers sell us tons of their grain. We grind it, mix it with water and special enzymes. The result is fermented, distilled, and dehydrated until it's 200 proof alcohol. Corn oil is extracted, and protein and nutrients are condensed, dried, and turned into animal feed, bringing our tour to an end with high-protein feed and cleaner-burning high-octane fuel. Visit poet.com to learn more.
S&S Volvo is your locally owned heavy-duty truck dealership in the area with a full line of Volvo and Isuzu trucks. We offer Volvo, Isuzu, Cummins, and GM parts and service weekdays until midnight until 4:30 p.m. on Saturdays. We also have leasing and rental options to meet your needs. We have the expertise to get and keep you on the road. Stop by at 2600 St. John's Road or visit us at ssvolvo.com to see our wide selection of new and used truck inventory.
Ag teachers wear a lot of hats, and I love that about ag teachers because we are able to influence so many different people on so many different levels that it makes our job really important.
Whether it's skills used in the greenhouse or skills working with animals, you know, these are all career related, but by incorporating the 3 circles, SAE, FFA, and classroom instruction, you're able to see the students grow and become model citizens. So not only do we teach career skills, but we teach life skills.
I think agriculture teachers are kind of a special breed. I think we've always been kind of called that by our students, maybe because our students see us as a different kind of teacher.
Every day, it's what I want to do. It's what I love to do, is to teach students, to impart knowledge, to help see them achieve their goals.
But I think that ag teacher goes above and beyond and spends countless hours with these students, and they become a mentor, a teacher, a friend.
The diversity in agriculture, you can specialize. If it's plant science, animal science, agribusiness, landscape management, natural resources to ag mech. And it's everything from production to agri-science, and it's a world of opportunity.
Some of the classes that an ag teacher might teach on any given day would be probably some sort of an ag mechanics class, or an animal genetics class, a plant science class, an ag leadership class where we can incorporate a little bit of science and shop and construction trades.
Hands-on activities are done in my class compared to a traditional teacher, I would say.
In such a dramatic time of need for agriculture educators, but also for agricultural students going into the agriculture profession. We need new students with new energy, excited and well-versed in ag education in the background to lead our nation forward.
We need the best people that we can get to become teachers because there's such a shortage all over the country, and you know, there's great opportunities at various levels, whether a person wants to teach at the high school level, in a community college, at the university, become a teacher, educator, whatever it happens to be. There are tremendous opportunities.
Today, there are approximately 8,200 high school and middle school agricultural education programs, employing about 12,000 ag teachers in all 50 states and Puerto Rico. These programs prepare students for success by helping them develop leadership skills, teaching them high-level academic concepts, and by giving them the tools they need for the next phase of their lives. Even with the thousands of ag teachers currently employed, there still aren't enough to fill all the jobs that are available. Every year, programs close because they can't find a qualified ag teacher. There are also opportunities to start new programs, especially in urban areas, that go unfulfilled again because there simply aren't enough qualified teachers to keep up with demand.
I have been doing this 28 years, and it every day I enjoy going to work. Every day I enjoy seeing my students. Every day it's a challenge, but I would not do anything else.
I am an agricultural educator by choice and not by chance.
I believe in American agriculture.
I dedicate my life to its development and the advancement of its people.
I will strive to set before my students by my deeds and actions
the highest standards of citizenship for the community, state, and nation.
Allen Davis Insurance Agency in Wapakoneta and Minster is your solutions provider. You can trust the experienced professionals at Allen Davis Insurance to protect your assets. Call today and start saving money with multi-policy discounts and more for auto, home, life, business, recreational, total farm protection, and more. Call Allen Davis Insurance Agency in Wapakoneta and Minster. We are your solutions provider. Call 1-800-686-2148. United Equity Inc. is your locally owned farm-based cooperative. For agronomic services, we offer seed and a full line of dry and liquid fertilizer, as well as soil sampling by soil type, grid, or management zone to best utilize your fertilizer application. Call us to discuss agronomic services customized for you. Reach your best yields with United Equity, serving Allen, Auglaize, Mercer, Putnam, and Van Wert counties. Visit us on the web at unitedequityinc.com.
Hey, that's going to do it for this week's edition of In Ohio Country Today. Be sure to check us out on Facebook. We have a YouTube channel and more. You can always check out our website at inohiocountry.com. Have a good day, everybody.